Good evening. This is Ken Page. Today I have a really great show for you, but it's a really important show because it's how to keep yourself energetically clear inside. And I'm going to show you what you can do every single day to help yourself clear, or help your insides, or to help your, many of you might not know what chakras are. Most of you are, or meridian points, or different energetic parts of your body, but how to internally get yourself clear. Now, I've talked to you in the past about the right hand being men's pulling hand and the left hand being women's pulling hand. If you really want to look at that, there's an animal video on our website which really shows you how to use the right hand and the left hand. And you can just, and I have other YouTubes where I've shown you how to do that, the healing ones. But just think, my pulling hand is my right hand. So I could set my right hand on somebody's arm, let's say they have pain, and I could pull it into my hand. But I would want to put a hat band, a rubber band, a comfortable one, okay? Not real tight, just to keep yourself aware that you're keeping the energy below your elbow. That's all. That's all you're doing, okay? And I could pull that energy into my hand. I could pull it out of a child. I could pull it out of myself. I could use it. Okay, if you're left-handed or a woman, then you put your left hand on it. Again, putting something below your elbow just to be sure. See, you're going to do something that you condition yourself. I don't use one now because I've conditioned myself one. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to clear your chakras at the end of the night, or when you're taking a shower. Now, it's best if you take a shower or just clean yourself off at nighttime before you sleep, because that takes care of all the energetics of the day. Because remember, you could have all kinds of different things that upset you. You could have had your work upset you. You could have somebody at work. You could have had your family upset you. You could have had your mother or father, or however you are structured. You could have had somebody saying something. You could have got something in the mail. Your kids came home. They were upset. Somebody was sick. Somebody is hurt. There's so many things that can take your energy. Or it's just, remember, if everything starts pulling on you and taking your energy, you're the one that ends up not having enough. And the weakest part of your body, the most sensitive part of your body, is affected by not having enough energy inside. So this clearing technique is something you want to use. But you want to be sure that when you get home, you take your clothes that have been soiled, not dirty as such, but energetically overwhelmed. If you've really been in a bad situation, like a friend of mine the other day was over and he just came from the hospital, that energetic she had was just so much she could not wear those clothes again, because if she put them on, her vibration would change back to the way she was yesterday. So you want to be sure. See, one of the things you can do is just to put them in the dryer for about 5 or 10 minutes, and that clears them. But when they get a lot of energy, then they should just go in a bag and wash them when you have time. Okay? Or you can air them out. If you have a garage, you can do some things like that to keep them clear. Now, so what you do is when you're taking a shower, you take your pulling hand, and again, that's going to be women's left hand, men's right hand. But this time, we're not going to put anything under your elbow, only because we're going to be in the shower. And if you feel like you pick something up, you just wash your hand and just take your other hand and just sweep it and clear it, okay? So we don't have to do it when we're taking a shower or we're bathing, okay? So I'm going to do this now as I would do it. And remember, again, women, you would use your left hand. Men, you'd use your right hand. So you're taking a shower and you've already cleaned yourself and you feel really good. Now you take your hand and you put it right over your forehead. Now you can touch your forehead. See, when I teach people how to do this, our hands are just a little bit above that place, so we're not actually touching. But you can certainly touch yourself. So you put your hand over there, and this is what we're doing. We're releasing everything you wanted to say, but you couldn't say it or you didn't say it. Everything you wanted to say to your mother, your father, your brothers, your sister, your bosses, your relationships, people that hurt you, every single thing that you would have liked to have said, let it go. Now remember, these could be hundreds and hundreds of things you would have said, you wanted to say, but you never did. Or your job wouldn't allow you, or somebody would have hurt you, or whatever it was, just let it go. Now we're releasing this from our head, but we're releasing it from our eyes, and we're releasing it from our ears, and we're releasing it from our shoulders, releasing it from all the different things that we held, all the coulda, woulda, shoulda things that we hold on to. Remember, Deepak Chopra says we have 60,000 thoughts a day, 90% of thoughts of yesterday. So those are the things we're letting go. So after you feel like it's coming out or it's come out, I would do it for about 3 or 4 minutes. Then I would either wash my hand and clear it, okay, just clear it, and then put my hand on my throat and release all the times that you were killed or hurt for speaking the truth. All the times that you tried to help somebody, but it flipped on you and it didn't feel good. Let it go from your neck, but this is really important, from your shoulders. Let all that go from your jaw. Let it go from your sinuses. Let all that energy just release from that place. And if you have a specific problem, such as headaches, or some wrong thing with your thyroid or whatever, then you want to really address letting go and clearing that part of your body. Now, after you don't have to clear your hand. If you feel like you have something, just wash your hands and be sure it's clear, and then go to your heart. And then what I want you to do is I want you to open your heart inwardly. Inwardly open your heart. And what you should be doing is the clearing techniques. You do not want to do this unless you're doing the 4 clearing techniques. Because remember, the more you love yourself, the less reactive you are to energy and emotions. You can sense it, but you don't have to feel it. And just love yourself. And again, anything that has to do with your heart or your chest or your lungs or breathing, or your nervous system, your immune system, just let all that stuff go. And after you pick that up again, I just go ahead and wash my hands, sure they're clear. Then I go right underneath my chest, okay? And I want you to release all the people who tried to control you, or manipulate you, or to take your power. Like gooey, sticky strings are coming out of your chest, your lower part of your chest, your lower part, right under your rib cage, coming out. And just release all that kind of stuff, that kind of energy. And then again, you can wash your hands. Then what I do is put your hand in your lower belly, and I want you to be what you are, but not what society says, or church, or religion, or men, or women, or your family, because you tried to be all those things, and they never quite felt right. So I want you to be exactly what you are. So I'm a man, or you can be a woman, or you could be both. It doesn't really matter. What we're trying to do is find balance with both. So what I would say is I'm a man, and I have the power of the masculine. But remember, I am not a man like my father was, because he'd just come back from the war, and he was angry, and he was hurt, and he was in pain, and he had drank too much, and there were a lot of energetics that I didn't care for, but I understand. So I am a man based on how I want to be a man. Now once I find the balance between my male and the balance between being male and having the energy of it, then I can be the balance between my male and my female. Now all that is I can be whatever I need to be depending on the situation. So I can be more sympathetic or empathetic or more aware with my feminine, but it doesn't take away from my masculine. Or I could be more masculine, it doesn't take away from my feminine. See, we try to find that inner balance outwardly in relationships, and it just doesn't work. because we don't feel good, because somebody's trying to hold us based on what their ideas are. So now I release all that out of my tummy, all that out of my lower back, all that out of my kidneys, all that out of my liver, all that out of my male and female organ. I just let it all go. And then again, I wash my hands. Now this is another one. It sounds a little strange, but just think about it. Put your hands between your legs. Now what I want you to do is push out, just in your mind, just push out all the energy that's been projected into you or onto you or through you, or all the projections you projected onto others. Just push that energy out. Now just imagine in your mind a beautiful light of sunlight, but your color. Remember, you're doing the 4 clearing techniques. One of them is being liquid. One of them is your favorite color. So in my case, might be violet. I think a violet golden light coming right down my spine, pushing everything out of my head, my throat, my heart, and everything out of my lower belly, and everything out, and push all that energy out. The old things, the tired things, the confusing things, the restricting things, the projections, just push them out. And as you feel that energy coming out, this for sure is a time to really wash your hands. And what I do is I get some soap and I just really, really clean your hands and just let it go. Just be sure you're doing like this. I'm just sweeping. I'm taking everything else, because I don't want any of that energy to go to the weakest part of my body again. So I'm just keeping it there, and then I'm releasing it. Now, if you'll do that every day for a week, you'll feel completely different. After that, you can do it once a week. Or you can do it if you feel like you really had a lot of projections put on you, or you were really in a place that you picked up a lot of energy. It could be school, it could be whatever your work is, it could be a hospital, it could be a nurse, it could be a cab driver, it could be anything that you pick up a lot of emotions from other people. It could be anything in the doing with being a waitress or being a cook or anything. Because we all pick up too much energy that is not ours. And when you do that, you internally have to process that. That's why it starts to affect your nervous system, or it starts to affect your body. Now, there's many different things I have written now. And what it is, it's on page 77 of The Way It Works. It's on chapter 21. And it's being energetically healthy. And it gives you all kinds of techniques, all kinds of things you can do. Remember, if you can do something and it only takes you 3 to 5 minutes and you're feeling bad and then you start to feel good, that's a really good investment of time. So you be sure you read The Way It Works. Sure you're doing all the different clearing techniques. You've got to do the clearing techniques. Why do you have to do them? Because you have to find yourself to where you're not so reactive to your past energetically. To where something today, all of a sudden, you get upset and it triggers something that happened to you exactly the same way with somebody else. And all of a sudden it pulls you out of time and you're stuck in the past. You're frozen, you can't get back. And it makes you feel stuck, it makes you feel trapped, it doesn't feel good. So you want to be able to recognize what that is. Oh my gosh, I feel like they were critical of me. I feel like they were mean at me. I feel like they were trying to hurt me. And that's what pulled me back. Once I understand that, it's easier to get back in the moment. Remember, in the moment, what you want to do is just flow with the energy. So again, how to do the clearing technique. If you want to go to the animal healing, I instruct you on how to use your right hand and left hand. And I've just told you how to do it. If you don't understand, we have it written. So just let us know and we can send it to you, okay? So be sure you do that, and be sure you take care of yourself energetically. And I know this is really a challenge, because most people get home, they're busy, they have to cook, they have to get everything ready, and they don't take a shower. You go to bed with the energetics of the day. Your partner goes to bed with the energetics of his or her day. Your energetics, their energetics together it really affects your sleep or your rest. And this is really important that you get enough rest. So you take care of yourself, and remember, just do the basics, and the basics will get you through 90% of all the stuff out there. But remember, you have to believe it. You have to do it so many times that there is nothing but, yeah, what's wrong with loving myself more than I've ever loved myself before? How can I do that? How do I know how to do that? Well, we're showing you how to do it. How can you change the energetics of it and think of yourself as liquid? No one else will project onto you. It's a space that's in between realities that allows you to be all you are, but not be overwhelmed by somebody's projections. How can you change the vibration of your name when you sleep? So nobody's holding on to you, so nobody's going into your space, so nobody from your past is tapped into you. And then again, how do you get into your pineal where you can become more sensitive and less reactive? These are all in the way it works, and that book is free. It's just like all these different YouTubes are free. So please tell your friends, because I guarantee you, why can't they be helped? So you take good care of yourself. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye. Thank you.